Welcome to APDesign Digital Tools. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at kind of how to create proper visualizations in Rhino. So it may seem a little counterintuitive that we'll be not modeling originally, but actually just looking at how things appear on the canvas. But I think it's really important that you understand how to manipulate this world, because you're going to be designing in it. And to design in it, you have to have the proper settings. So I'm going to put a few things back to the way they were. Okay, that's perfect. The way they were and the way they are on your screen. So I'm just going to go in and restore defaults. Okay. And I'll just change all these to shaded. So this is more than likely the kind of situation that you have. It's a gray world. It has the grid. Anything that you draw, it has that component's that layer's color, and shows up like this. So if you want to change something's layer, just click on it, right click on the layer and say change object layer. It's really easy. Okay, so let's go in and start tweaking this. So you should see over here display. If you don't, go ahead and click on that gear box and turn on display. But it's probably already on. Okay. And then go down and hit the edit shaded settings. Before we do that, maybe we should talk about what's going on right here. So inside of here, we can do a lot of just quick visualization edits. So I can turn off the surface edges. If there were curves in the scene, so if I draw a rectangle, I can either have those show or not show. That actually is really important. Oftentimes I come to a student's screen and they'll go like, I can't see my all the drawings that I've made, and I go over here and I click that and it turns it back on. I know it seems pretty silly, but there you go. Okay, and so on and so forth. So you can turn those things on, toggle them on and off. All right, so now let's go into edit shaded settings. So inside of here, this turns on the Rhino options, so actually you can see kind of all the options, but the ones that we're worried about are actually under view, and currently we're just working on shaded. So what I like to do with my shaded is that I will have my edges. There's a lot of different options here. I'm just going to go to objects. I'm going to go to curves. And right now it's set up to have, no, actually I don't want curves. We're going to go with these surfaces. And under surfaces, you'll see that the edge color is to use the object's color. So if the object is blue, it'll have a blue line. What I like to do is go ahead and set that to be a single color for all edges. And typically it's black. You might go with a gray depending on what you're doing, but I like to do black, and that's about it. The other thing that I often will change in shaded is I will go in and change the background color. I don't like this gray. Some people really love the gray. I would rather it turn to either a white, or if you want to kind of really go dark, go to some extreme, whether that's white or black or white or dark. The gray just seems to just kind of muddy everything up. Personally, I just go with white. Okay, so you can do that to any of these various displays. And in fact, I'll show you one more. And let me go ahead and set it back to its default. So this is technical, and I haven't gone into it, but if you want to just jump into one of these viewports and see it full screen, you just double click on it and double click on it again, it brings it back. So this is technical. This is probably how you see it, and it's pretty cool because it shows hidden geometry behind, as if the thing was somewhat transparent, like a drawing. Alright, but you can go in and you can tweak this, and I always do. One thing that I do is I have it shade the object according to its color. And you can also play with kind of transparencies on that. And then you look under objects and under lines, and you can control the various hidden line, its color. So maybe we go to a single color, say is a light gray, and edge line, say we turn all of these to single color, so they're always turning black. And then you can also play with line weight, so like the silhouette. So you may or may not be able to see, but this edge is slowly getting fatter and thicker. Okay, 10 is this threshold. I usually go somewhere around 4 or 5. And then intersection lines. Now that probably won't show up because I don't don't have any intersection lines, but we'll show you what that is. So I'll set that at 3. Say OK. So now I start to see the world a little bit more like a drawing would be. And it'll be even better drawing if I make this not such an obnoxious color like blue and change it to more of a white. So now we see the world is more of a drawing, and I'm going to change this background color to white. Why is it not showing up white? But anyway, you kind of get the idea. And I'll just throw in one more solid in here so we can kind of see what happens with intersections. So then the intersection line is not as heavy as the silhouette line. So much like what you learned how to draw in first year. Cool. Alright, so that's viewport settings and display. You can tweak any of these. You might kind of play around with kind of other things. Rendered will depend more on the material color that you've chosen, so it shouldn't really do much at the moment. But yeah, you can flip back and forth with these, and sometimes some people like to model in X-ray because it always shows up transparent, so you can kind of find that thing that's, you know, beyond the object that you're looking at right now. So you know, these become a very clever way of being able to see the world in a designerly fashion, and you can also turn on and off these various options, you know, if they start to get to be distracting. So there you go.